Everything's Scouty. Hope you're going to join me. Just finished setting up. Sometimes it doesn't work straight away, so I have to go on a little bit earlier now, and hope you can join me today. But it's all Scouty this week. Scouty week. You don't have to be a scout to join in. Do log in and say hello. You don't have to be a scout or anything. You can just join in for fun. So just finished setting up. Don't forget to get yourself some water. All you need is water. Do pop in and say hello. Can you see everything? That would be great. So we'll just give some other people a little bit longer to join in. Just give everyone a little bit more time to join in, and we'll be away. Okay? Do sign in and say hello, just so I know you're there. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Anyone do origami? I've been making cranes because they're meant to be lucky. I think we need all the luck you can get at the moment, so I've been making cranes. They don't fly as well as I've seen others. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. That one seems to fly all right. Anyway, they'll be gradually growing up the wall there. So something else to look at. Anyway, I think it's about 1 more minute. I think 1 more minute, unless my watch is wrong. Yep, 1 more minute, and then we'll get going. So all you need is a pen and paper. Sadly, Barbara can't join us today, but never mind. But I do hope Catherine, Paula, and Rosie join in, as well as the other tribes that join in with me, which is absolutely lovely. So if you do join in, please remember to follow, share, and like me on Facebook, and also subscribe to my site. Thank you very much. So 1 more minute, and we can get started. So hello to anyone out there. As you can see, I have my stuff on today. I'll probably be told what it's properly called. Anyway, so today we're going to be doing things relative to Scouts this week. Let's just pop that back a bit so you don't cut off the top of my head. As you can see, I've been trimming my hair, and it actually looks pretty worse than usual. So I hope my hairdresser's not watching, so don't look. So today we're going to be doing the Scouts this week. and it'll be all relative to perhaps with a bit of scouting. So the Scout organisation asked me to set something up for them special this week, but everyone can join in. It's not just for Scouts and Guides, etc. So I just thought it'd be nice to have a little theme this week. So last week it was all about love. So this week it's all about Scouts. So remember, all you need is a pen and paper. We will, you can always go to my website, Dbee Robinson Artist, SAA, and you can look me up for any other information. This week, we're just starting over the next couple of weeks gently, and then we'll build up. Okay, we'll start doing more intricate things. So without further ado, the usual disclaimer: I'm here, you're there, and please don't get pens and markings on the paper, sorry, on your furniture. Keep it on the paper. If you overstretch yourself, please be careful. I can't be held responsible because I'm not there to help you, so please do things carefully. Okay, so as always, we start with a little warm-up. Just try and relax, because it's all about relaxing and chilling out and saying hello to each other. So don't forget to pop in and say hello on the board. You can just live in. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. I don't know if you can see my toes. I've got my toes up. Toes. Wiggle your toes. Hold the shoulders. Stretch your chest out. A couple of deep breaths, and we should be away. Okay. Right, so remember what I said last week, and if you missed last week, do go back and have a look. They're on my YouTube website or YouTube. It's Dbee Robinson Artist, and you should find my channel quite easily, and you'll be able to recap on last week's. So remember that we use Doodles as a paint palette, and we can store it as we do it on paper. So if you have an A4 piece of paper, fold it in half again, and fold it in half again. You end up with 3, 4, 8 little squares, and we'll be filling 4 squares up, and that will leave the other half for your picture. Or you can do what everyone else does, and that is just gradually fill in your doodle. So each day we'll have a square or rectangle, and we'll fill in a doodle. If you have paper like this or a pad, just mark it up and do it as you go along. So without further ado, today's doodle is all about propellers. Well, as I said, we were going to try and link it in with the Scouts. And happy birthday, Will, if you're watching. Happy birthday from Untitled Chapter. So this week we are going to, here's my square. So you should have a square in your paper or in a pad or something. And as I went for a walk one day, I noticed some of the walls, I don't know if you've seen them, some walls, they have a design actually in the wall that looks like a propeller. I don't know if you've seen it. Oh, that's in the wrong place, isn't it? Like this. So it's like this is a hole, and then all this will be, somehow they've done it like that. And I thought that was and if you imagine that, rows and rows of those, I thought that was quite a nice pattern. So remember, wherever you go, wherever you're walking around your house, look for different patterns everywhere. So I just saw that design, and it reminded me of a propeller. And I thought, well, why don't we do one doodle of propellers and see how far we can change it into something else. So without further ado, we'll start with the propeller. Now I thought I've done some examples. So what I did was I thought I would turn my square into smaller squares, and then in each one I would do a different propeller shape. So the first one was this one. Now if you had lots of these, can you see how it would gradually fill up? So if you were out walking along on a hike or doing your navigation, guys, or something like that for your navigation badge, just look around and see what's around you for what designs you can see. So I thought that was quite an interesting one, and that was like a wall, and it was just a wall, a brick wall with a whole line. And then I thought, well, that was a nice propeller, but what about making it a bit more interesting? Well, there's all sorts of propellers. I work for a marine company, so we have propellers that have a, like this. I think that's quite bad, but that's another type of propeller. So we could just play with the different sorts of propellers. And as I say, we have to do the basics, and then we can gradually build up and do something a bit more interesting. Hello, Trinity and Sean. Nice to have you with me today. I thought that paperwork you did, Trinity, was brilliant for Sean's birthday. Must have taken you days to do it. It looked very good. Excuse my back, by the way. So here's one propeller. And if you can come up with any other ideas for this sort of design, then do let me know. You can also, do you remember on the flowers we did this sort of thing? To give it a little bit of difference, you could fill it in. Okay, so again, now another sort of propeller is an airplane propeller. Now they have like a bow like that, and then it comes down like that. Okay, and then on the other side you'd have a bow like that, and then they'd have a fatter bit like that. Okay, so that's another sort of up one. And you could colour this side in, colour that side in. Okay, so it's almost like a figure of 8, isn't it? Okay, and then we colour one side in, colour one side in. You see, we're just getting different sort of propeller shapes. Another one. Colour one side in, colour one side in. So it depends what sort of shapes you were looking for. And if that was going along in a row, you could actually fit them closer together. Couldn't you? So you'd fit them like that. Remember, this is your doodle. You can have it however you want. So you could gradually just have a long row. Now, if you look here, I've got flowers, but there's no reason why you couldn't put propellers in there. Well, then, looking at that, you could also, don't know how, yeah, you can see. So it's almost like a handwriting exercise, isn't it? Sort of looks like a propeller. And remember, we started just, because that's almost what it is, isn't it? Can you see? We just started with this one. So we're gradually just playing with the design and seeing what we can come up with, okay? And Mum, hi Mum. Okay. Oh, there's a different design, isn't there? So there's so many different things you can do. You can colour this bit in. So this was all from the idea of the brick wall that I thought looked like a propeller when I was going on a walk. So like I say, when you go on walks or anything like that, have a look around you. And if you've got a phone, just take a picture of it because it's very difficult. Or take a little book with you and you can write the doodle down. So there we go. And that's okay. If you did it the same, what if you got smaller as it went on? See? Design's changing as we go. So what else can we do? Well, if we wanted to, we could make it more than a propeller. It's almost a flower now. We did flowers last week. I'm sure we'll go back and do them again. We could put it in a circle. So we could have a circle with a propeller. It doesn't have to be a square. We could put a dot in the centre. We can put lines out. Can you see how this Doodle is totally evolving into something completely different. We can put patterns in the center of it. Yeah, it's almost like the guides one. Do you know? I think the guides one looks like a shamrock. I think it's something like that. I could be wrong. But again, I got this design from that, but it actually looks like a club. So all of a sudden we're on a pack of cards. What do you think? You okay then? Julian, why are you watching from? Oh, I am truly touched. How lovely to see you in Penang. Hello. So, just doing all different things. So remember, we learn the basics and then we can build up on it. Lovely to see you, Wai. Right. So if you've done a few of these, shall we have a look at putting it in a new design? Last week we used words, we used the word love. This week, okay, this week, I thought, we'll leave those up there. This week, I thought we could do the Scout logo. As it's Scout week. So I think the Scout logo goes something like this. And then there's a thing here, I think. Something like that. And then this comes down like that. And don't shoot me if I'm wrong. And then I think there's a big, that comes like this. There's a big, that comes like that. Okay, what do you think? So that will be what we'll be filling in this week. Obviously, if you want to fill in your own thing or your own picture, that's absolutely fine. So I thought, where can we put the propellers today? Well, I've already had a play, and I thought it would go quite nicely down the centre. So I'm going to do this in pencil. I just think it would be nice. Not sure how. I think what I'll do is I'm going to do propellers that might get bigger and more interesting as we go along. And here's an interesting thing. I can't quite fit the whole one in. Now, what would you do? Would you do half a propeller like that? Or would you fit a tiny one in so it looks like as if it's curved around the corner? I think I'm going to put a tiny one in. But it's entirely up to you. Okay, got one there, one here, one here. So these propellers, if I had a propeller like that on my boat or my plane, I think it would be a bit. Wai, thank you, Wai. That's lovely. So we put another one here. How are you getting on, guys? Are you doing yours? So it doesn't have to be exact. Don't forget it's your doodle. You can do it exactly how you want. Okay? Okay. I think that looks okay. Sort of doing it in different shapes. Okay, so how are you getting on? Something like that? How are we doing? How are you getting on? So if you wanted to, you could colour it in. You could have different coloured ones. I think I did this last time. I made my pen go black. You could have colour, because I know Lisa likes colour. Don't you, Lisa? And I know Rosie and Orla like colour, so they sometimes watch on catch up later. They don't always do the live streaming. Should we have maybe a coloured one in there? Doesn't all have to be the same colour, does it? You see how it's changing the shape of the design. Okay, and don't forget, this is not, the idea is for you to learn these so that you can do your own pictures, all right? So Friday, we'll be putting all the designs we've learned Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 o'clock, and then on Friday we play, you remember rightly, weekday catch up. We catch up with the week's, what we've done for the week, and we'll put in a new design. So let's carry on with this. I need to get some new colour pens, but as I'm not allowed out to go shopping really, I can't really go. But that's okay. Whatever you got is fine. Okay. So I have to go all the way down to here. I think I might do a couple down here. These are very strange propellers. I'm going to use some big weird ones. There we go. Oh, got that one, didn't I? And if you make a mistake, it's okay. You can just turn it into something else. So like down here, shall I show you what I did? I made a mistake. I went like this. I thought, oh my gosh, what's happened there? It's too close to do this. So I just turned it into half a propeller. It's okay. Whatever you do is fine. So I think we'll have a few more. Okay. So this is our propeller doodle. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow we're doing fishes. So I know that Kira and possibly Trinity as well, and I don't know about Sean, but I know Kira for sure, she caught a fish and descaled it, gutted it, cooked it and ate it. So that's what Scouts do. So tomorrow it's about fishes. So it'll be fun. I just hope Kira doesn't feel sick, because her face was a picture when she was gutting it. And I'd like to thank the First Wesley Scouts for showing the picture of her doing that, because it made me laugh a lot. Okay, so this doesn't have to be the same. The other thing, do you remember I said, if you want to make that look darker, what you can do is colour in the background. So it actually, when you colour it in, it looks slightly different. Oh, I hope my pens don't run out. There we go. Gosh, what time in Penang? Can't think. Must be, I don't know, 7 hours difference? That would make it late. You up late, why? Have you got your gym jams on? So, don't forget, when you're out and about, start looking for new designs. If you want to share your design with me on Facebook, then please go to the my Facebook page and just post in visitors. There you go, that makes it stand out a bit better, doesn't it? Can you imagine lots of those, like in my design here? So just go to my Facebook page and upload. I've allowed people. It's very late. Gosh, what are you doing out of bed so late? But I am so pleased you've joined us. So when you're out and about, have a look for some new doodles. Send me your new doodles if you can. No score because of dreadful oh yeah, we don't talk about that on here. We are virus free. We are chilling out. We're getting rid of our stress. We're breathing lots. We're drinking lots of water, and we're not thinking about anything else but having fun. So let's just recap on that. So build up on your own design. Come up with some new ideas. Do post it on Facebook for me. But until we meet again, because these are quick, little, short moments that you catch up for 20 minutes every weekday from 4 till about 4:20, 20 past 4, about 4:30. Roll those shoulders, wiggle those fingers. Like I say, tomorrow is all about scales. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Okay, I'll post the live link on my Facebook, Dbee Robinson Artist Facebook page, And if you go there, the live stream will be on there about 3:45 every weekday for you to join in. Until then, thank you for joining me and do take care. Bye. Lovely to watch you. Lovely for you to join me. I feel very touched that you stayed up so late just to say hello. So love to everyone. Stay safe.